Hello everyone, and welcome to Greenlight. I'm Jovanni Santos, and today we're talking about David Fincher and the production domino effect. You can learn as much or maybe more from a bad film than a good film. Films that are said that are plagued from the beginning of production are usually having script issues.
Alien 3 was a tough shoot. It was a long shoot, and again, we're working at Pinewood Studios in London, and it's, working through those winter months in freezing cold sound stages, and, everybody gets miserable, everybody gets sick, and that really takes a toll on you.
So no kidding, it's really cold here. I think they said this is the coldest weather they've had in 4 years.
In these pictures, they've always had, long working hours and often 6-day weeks and just a killer schedule and no mercy from the studio.
We went through this production continually reworking the script to make up for a short pre-production, a rush into... The movie got greenlit based on a whole different version of the script. And David was forced to deal with that in a very short period of time, where he had to design the alien, he had to design the sets, and he had to write the script all the way into the depths of production.
We were not working with a full, completed script to its conclusion, so that is problematical because you're dealing with a catch-up process all the time. Trying to sort of move forward, but also trying to finish off. Because the days we work are very long. So if you're trying to finish a script, and certainly as a director, not that he was a writer, but if you're trying to work with the writers to conclude something.
I always felt that Alien 3 was a movie that initially, as a studio, we set out to make a release date and not make a movie. And I think along the way, that changed, but that really set us back.
In the meantime, they were over in London and they were drawing up sets, and they were, we'd hired an art director and we were, moving along.
Throughout this video, the one word I want you to be thinking about is confidence. Confidence is key to a lot of things, but to be confident, you also got to be knowledgeable. So research is always king. Sometimes too much research is overkill. What happened to David Fincher is not something that a lot of first-time directors experience right away. He's had a great career in music videos and commercials, especially with commercial spots like Coca-Cola, which is most famous, the Blade Runner looking one, and then he's done a lot of stuff, music videos with Michael Jackson and A Perfect Circle. Since David Fincher had his history and background in film in a different medium, he was able to bring in that confidence and that knowledge into the feature film world. Now, this is a different time schedule, and in the feature film world, the script is king. So if the script is not done or up to par where it's an actual feature film, it has everything tying from the beginning to the end, so everything makes sense, especially the ending. You don't want people walking out thinking, what did I watch? Nothing correlated to each other, and it didn't make any sense. I'm just confused. And how are they going to recommend your film?
He is extraordinary, you know, utter total confidence, which he inspires from the people that he works with.
I would never have thought it was his first film. And where he's placing the camera, I've never seen it done that way.
His ideas seemed very cinematic. Even then he'd joke, he said, yeah, this is a sort of Hitchcockian bit, you know, and here comes John Ford. And so there are all these little nods, you know, and it was a lovely energy, you know, it was the kind of the energy of somebody confident and someone who was a fan.
A sliver at the bottom of the 65mm frame is the ground, and then it's mostly sky. So we would do the split so that along, like the first, if you imagine that pretty much just to the left of where the turquoise, the tent is. Right. Just to the left is where the left side of frame is.
I was a different person on Alien 3. I mean, I've never been as tough in some way. I mean, I don't know what people remember me, but I knew I had to kind of like step up to the plate or just get buried. And I don't know if I got buried or not. I don't know what really happened, to be honest.
Not very good weather for this. Dusk. Yeah, but dusk in a blue sky means no shooting.
It's supposed to rain this afternoon.
Okay, dusk in a blue sky means no shooting.
Yeah.
Okay?
Are we painting the sky?
No. Dusk in a blue sky. You can't paint the sky right along there. Okay, Ezra?
Gotcha.
We're cool on the concept now. We're all hip to this. You saw it right here.
Dusk in a blue sky.
There will be people in the production questioning your ideas, questioning your direction, and or small things as to where you're placing a camera. This is what happens when other crew members feel that they have more experience than you do. Now, what got you into that position is what got you into that position. You either wrote your own script, your own screenplay, and you're making this micro-budget film and you're putting up your own money, or you have a group of friends that are banding together on your vision because they believe in you and they believe in what you will become for them and for yourself. At the end of the day, it's tough when you have these thoughts of making your own films and you can't scratch that itch where you need to make that feature film happen. But I'm here to tell you in this episode and many episodes to come that you don't need anyone to give you the green light. You have the green light. It's in you this whole time. You just have to turn it on. So with that being said, confidence is key, but research is king. And you have to find out through history, especially in this medium. I mean, in businesses like becoming a doctor or anything like that, you can't research. I mean, you can research to an extent different doctors that have have discovered an illness or discovered a way to cure it. So for filmmakers like us, we get it at home, on TV. We have it in our phones now. We have it everywhere. So there's no excuse. You're supposed to use what was there before to create what is to come. Now that there's confidence lost in the Alien 3 project, it's tough for a micro-budget film to go through something like this because all the money that's backing this franchise, backing this project, I mean, it's the third film already in a trilogy. The studio's not going to let this just die, but studios take a break so they're not hemorrhaging money like this, right? And they go into a pre-post stage where they can stitch everything together and see what are the holes that they have to fill in this film.
I think we all recognized that we had holes in the movie. that we needed to fill. Again, because we did not have a script going into the movie. And rather than staying in England and continuing to try and fill those holes, the studio made a decision to bring the production back to LA, take a period of time off where you can assess what is needed and go back and more surgically fix those holes. No one left England thinking that the movie was finished. We left England knowing that we had more work to do and that we were going to give David an opportunity to edit the movie, look at the movie, and determine what he needed.
We had a big fight about the ending, too, of Alien 3. This thing where Sigourney goes into the fire, struggling with the beast, the chest burster, was a real last-minute thing.
You know, it's like, it was, you know, we got some laughs out of it, but, you know, again, we're not the writers, we're asked to do something. And
that one thing that bothered me is I still don't like the optical effect of her falling in
the fire.
The fire to me, it just didn't work when she does her backflip, you know.
My feeling for that was it was a rush to finish, and
Yeah.
I felt they were shortchanging themselves. I don't think the final visual of that was anywhere near what it could have been.
They wanted to shorten the movie. I take a half hour out of the movie. I think it had to do with how many times they show it in theaters, so how much popcorn they sell and all that kind of stuff. And I think they were afraid of Fincher's yearning to have the movie be on other levels other than just the fear level and the action level. What David was after was something that was very significant in the sense that when there's no meaning and there's no spiritualism, and you know that the odds are stacked against you, how do you cope in that environment? And the studio was afraid of it.
In micro-budget projects, you have to remain on schedule. Make sure everything's in order so you can get these things done. Because once you go out into the field, you are already going to be dealing with your surroundings. If you're using locations that you don't have locked down, where you don't have permits for, then you have to deal with the outside world coming into your shot, maybe blowing out your audio, things like that. With all your bases covered, from pre-production all the way to post-production would be more or less a breeze. Not that I'm saying that I went through that myself. I had a couple of stitching things to do towards the end, but it was a lot of close-ups, and it was really just only a couple shots. And reconstructing the film on my second edit before it got released to you guys and the outside world. Now understand that this all needs to be consistent in your life. You need to constantly be researching. I wouldn't suggest to over-research. I mean, there's always a limit, but you should be practicing more than researching. So whatever you research, I suggest practice that and then get back to researching and make it better and go from one element of making a film to another, and then eventually at one point it'll all correlate and you'll understand it all as a whole and as one unit, and you'll be able to use that to fuel you through your next feature film or short film. Thank you everyone for joining us in this episode of Greenlight. Please hit the subscribe button at the end of this video and click the notification so you find out when each video is uploaded every week. At the end of this and many other videos I have on this channel, there are DVDs that you can purchase through Amazon Prime that are new releases for every week. So please check out the description below where those links can be found. And thank you guys. See you next week and stay tuned.